Alright, hello, so welcome to Windwitch, a presentation. A very well-named presentation about Windwitches. What are Windwitches? Well, they're a deck from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 anime used by a character called Ren. I have not watched that series, so I don't know anything about the character. They're spellcasters, they windlock, synchros, and effect damage, that's the main thing. Along with a little bit of fun with inherited protection effects, and are themed around the cold more so than just wind. So, of course, there's plenty of monsters in the main deck. We'll be going over them in order of, what I would call most to least important. Number one is Ice Bell. It's their main starter. The lock is horrible and annoying. Look at it. So, but you obviously run three. You can run three on the side and any other deck. No, don't actually do that, please. Your deck pretty much lives or dies on your turn one Ice Bell. But what is Ice Spell? Well, as you can see here, it's a level 3 wind spellcaster, with the effect that if you control no monsters, you can summon it and another Wind Witch that's in your deck. Then you're locked into level 5 or higher winds from the extra deck. It also does 500 damage to your opponent when it's summoned. Well, if it's summoned, not when. If. Blast Spell. This is the second most important card because it's your main summon from Ice Spell, as it says on the slide. Synchro into 7. Master Duel won't let me be exactly. I forgot about that. Master Duel won't let me play the Glass Spell effects and Chain Ice Spell. Don't know why. I don't know why I can't chain block the. Anyway, it's a level 4 spellcaster tuner, 1500 that starts as another Wind Witch when it goes down, when it hits the field. Very cool. Yeah, you can summon it in Spirit Charmers off of the effect of Unpossessed because it's a spellcaster with 1500 defense. Play does not work in Wind Witches though, because that requires a card with a non-wind attribute to summon Glass Spell. Very cool, but this is important. Summon Ice Spell, it summons Glass Spell, search a card, synchro to 7. The card you'll typically be searching is this, Windwitch Snowbell, which summons itself from your hand if you have 2 or more wind monsters and no non-winds. As you can see, this is the first card they have with this inheritance gimmick, where a synchro monster summoned with it can't be destroyed by card effect. Well, your opponent's card effect to be precise. No, this just says wind monsters, doesn't say Windwitch. So you could use it in something like Speed Rise as well for an extra tuner. And the Ice Spell is a one card crystal wing. The way it goes is you summon Ice Spell summons Glass Spell searches Snowbell, synchro the other two into level 7. Or you slap down Snowbell, then synchro the two into a level 7. Snowbell goes into a level, then Crystal Wing that can't be destroyed by card effect. And thanks to its own attack gain effect, it's probably not going down in the fight. Next is Freeze Bell, which is pretty good, pretty useful. You can play the deck with, well, I was gonna say you can play that. You can play a deck that uses the other three as a little engine if you really wanted to, but this is good. This is important for a dedicated strategy. Summon itself from hand if all your monsters are Wind Witches. Grants battle protection to something you summon with it, which isn't the most useful unless you also use Snowbell to give it effect protection too. That's all good. And the level increasing effect is actually vital. There are so many situations where I've been thinking, oh, I can't summon the card I want because I needed one level more and I didn't have my Freeze Bell. I was trying to summon off with Ice Bell instead. This one here, Windwitch Blizzard Bell. It exists. As that first point says, it exists. Level 5 Spellcaster Tuner. If you control no monsters or only Wind Witches, you can normal summon it without attributing. If you control a different Wind Witch, you can discard, you can set it from hand or field to graveyard to burn for 500. One of the synchro monsters is the only reason this card exists. It looks very nice. I like that weird orb thing with a little fairy on top. Is that a snow angel? Just got what it's meant to be. It's like a little snow angel. Because it's like actually an angel. Oh, right, that's cute. Anyway, it doesn't come up very often. The hard ones per turn, if it was a soft ones per turn, rather if it didn't have that hard ones per turn restriction, that would be very good too. Of course, there's the extra deck cards. What synchro archetype doesn't come with its own synchros? Blam, Winterbell. Level 7 Wind Spellcaster Synchro, 1 tuner, and 1 or more non-tuner wind monsters. You can revive it. You can start get a Windwitch in your graveyard, do 200 damage times level, so most of the time you'll be doing 800 damage off of your glass spell. Pretty good. A little bit of extra burn. It can also summon a Windwitch from your hand. Sorry, it can also summon a monster from your hand at a lower level than a Windwitch you control, but only during the battle phase. Now, there's probably other ways you could make use of this that would be very funny. Like, I don't know, summoning Speedroid Terratop in your battle phase to search another extender to set up a more formidable board for main phase 2. It does its thing. You can always just use it as a little bit of burn damage and then use it to climb up into a higher level synchro instead of just using some random synchro for no benefits at all. Windwitch Diamond Bell is the reason Blizzard Bell exists. It reads, there's a level 8 Wind Synchro Spellcaster, 2800, 2400, with the same requirements as the other one. On Synchro Summon, you can target a Windwitch in your graveyard, inflict damage equal to half of its attack points. That's a hard once per turn, but as a soft once per turn, when your opponent takes damage, you can destroy one card on the field. If you summon it only using Windwitches, that's twice per turn instead. Notably, if you get... No, I don't want to see that. If you get 2 Diamond Bells, you can destroy 2 cards off of 1 Blizzard Bell discard. Very nice. You can also summon it using both Snow Bell and Freeze Bell, making it quite annoying to out for quite a fair few decks. I mean, you could think about it. It can be destroyed by battle, can be destroyed by card effect. So you'd be forcing your opponent to use like a Kaiju or a Banish or something like that on Windwitch Diamond Bell of all cards. Like, I'm sure they'd much rather use the Kaiju on your Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, but no. This is the card that they have to use that on. They also have Crystal Bell, a fusion monster. I think it looks pretty cool. I like the purple on it. I'm not quite sure why they have a fusion monster. I think it's to do with the anime. You can notably the extra deck locks earlier is level 5 or higher wind monsters, not synchro monsters. Probably just because of this card. With the power to copy effects of monsters in the graveyard, it can do some fun things on occasion, but I personally don't run it very often. You want to summon it off of Magicalized Fusion. As it says there, Harmonic Synchro Fusion, while it seems useful because you get 2 monsters out of your materials on field, Harmonic Synchro Fusion does not actually grant the inherited abilities from Snowbell or Freezebell. Now, onto some honorable mentions. The Synchro Dragons, your Clear Wing, your Crystal Wing, they're really good. What can I say? I already mentioned that the Ace Spell is the 1-card combo into Crystal Wing. Yeah, Baron is there if you're playing a format other than the TCG right now. Maybe it'll get unbanned, maybe it won't. But until then, you can play it in Master Duel. Of course, they do have spell and trap cards, such as Windwitch Chimes. Just gives you more monsters. Target a Windwitch, summon a different one from the target, I should say. So if you had Glass Spell, Ice Spell, Snow Bell on your field, you could target Glass Spell to summon Snow Bell from your deck, even though you already have Snow Bell. I mean, you'd probably want to summon Freeze Bell or something in that case, but you have the option. And Icy Breeze Refrain, a trap card, multi-purpose. You can either revive a Windwitch from your graveyard into defense position, or negate a card or effect used in response to your Windwitch monster ability. Card wins per turn. It can come in handy. It's pretty fun, but it's probably better to just run regular negate cards. Although, it does have pretty cool artwork, so you might want to run it just for that. Hyoreges. I don't know how to pronounce that. Don't know what it is. Don't know how to say it. Wikipedia says it's related to Windwitches. I think it's an anime reference. I guess if nothing else, it's a magicalized fusion searcher if you want to play a build that uses Crystal Bell. I don't know. I mean, it's worth experimenting with. Maybe if it's not, I may experiment with it later. But I don't know what I could do with it. So that's the basic overview of the cards. And here is my personal bad list. You may be thinking to yourself, well, why is that? I think that's Hastor. Why is that there? It's level 4. Your things lock you. Sometimes you need low level cards to climb up with when you get a bad hand. Probably don't want to run 3 of both archetypal synchros. I just happened to pull 3 of each of them and didn't have anything better to put in. Again, the shooting Rise of Dragon, you can see shooting Star Dragon probably. I don't think it's really, basically can't summon it, but. So, I've got Lost Wind is in there for the theme really, but the ability to negate an effects monster in half its attack points. On a deck like this, yeah, that's actually really useful. Summon a monster with half the attack points of a monster. You also get your I won Ash Blossom because I don't have more in Master Duel yet. Raigeki Monster Reborn. Both at 1 because I only have one. Upstart was at 1 when I built the deck, actually, I believe. I believe it was at 1 when I built the deck, which is why I had 2 of these Book of Knowledge. You know, it's basically. Yeah, you can see it more or less boiled down to run everything at 3 and then cut down. A shout out to the Wind Channeler for being extra copies of Ice Spell on deck as a way to get into further starters. And Terror Top for being an alternative way to kick off plays or extend with the normal summon. Pelica's another way to use a normal summon to extend, because your main plays don't use a normal summon. 3 attack is on board because it summons off a wind monster. It's great. A variety of speed droid tuners for different purposes. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. It's fun enough. It works well on the low level ladders, although I would not play this in high ranked. And that was Windwitches, a presentation. Thank you for your time.